The following program is made possible by the partners of Honor Grace Consulting. Yahweh TV and Matamba Power Facebook profile accounts. Assume no responsibility or liability for opinions shared on this program. Thank you.
Hello, welcome to Global Symposium. This is your conversation about technology, artificial intelligence, and the systems that they are and how it affects our lives. HonorGraceConsulting.com provides Global Symposium. Welcome. If you've never been to the show, let me tell you some things about us. Number one, we are on a Christian station, but we do not pray with you, and we are not trying to convert anyone to Christianity at this time. The show is a broadcast of technological information, data, facts, top voices, and what their contentions are, and if they have books out or if we find articles, reports, and other information to share with you to help protect human life. We are here to provide awareness and increased awareness and up-to-date current information about technology so that you can try to protect yourself. You can try to make better decisions that are well-informed decisions and that you have a choice. If you don't know something, if you don't know what's coming through the internet, how can you make a very good decision about how it's going to affect you or not? So our first 12 minutes is roughly telling you about the show and how it works, how it functions, the purpose of it. And along that line, let me tell you right now that you can connect with us on social media platforms that we have. You can comment on those platforms if you would like to carry any of our information, or if you would like to book any of our hosts into providing the information personally to your audiences, to your groups, to your schools, to your broadcasts, to your churches, or other types of religious institutions. If you like us to bring the information to you, we will send you PDFs and we will provide to you video content that's free. And again, it's not religious, it's not Christian focused. It is simply giving you the facts, as they used to say on one of the TV shows I watched when I was a child. The facts, ma'am, just the facts. Anyway, so I'm happy to be here and I'm very happy that you've joined me. Let me give you a few more, as they say, housekeeping bits of information. Every Monday morning at 9 o'clock, we broadcast this show on two different networks. One's coming out of South Africa and one's coming out of India. Why? Because each of them hit 90 different nations to carry the information. And one of them is focused on Christianity. If you want to praise, if you want to pray, if you want ministry given to you, then you'd want to go to the other show, not this show, at 9 a.m. this morning. There's freedom on that show if that is the faith you operate in, if you're in the kingdom of God. Now, that being said, for those of you who don't believe in God, or those of you who denounce God, those of you who just want to know, those of you who are of other faiths, you're welcome to come here with me and listen to the information. Okay, so that being said, you know how to connect with us on global_symposium on Instagram. We are on Facebook and we are on YouTube, and we also in LinkedIn. That gives you a couple of places to find us. We are also on TikTok. So on those sites, we broadcast information. It may not be in the form of a show. It may be in the form of post. It may be in the form of video shorts. It may be in the form of a couple of live clips intermittently during the week and every month. We are only 2.5 months old. Well, roughly 2 months, maybe 2 months and a week. And so we are very happy and pleased that we are gaining audience. Along that line, we are not trying to build the broadcast. As I say, it's an informative show for you to learn and understand internet dangers, warnings, downside, shortcomings, bad things that you want to prevent and avoid. So let's just run through a quick list of what some of those things are, and then I'll go forward in another way. Internet technology affects our health. Not only will it affect jobs and employment, but it can affect everything from your skeletal muscular system to the dopamine in your brain and how that affects you. I'm telling you this from research that I've had, and we do have on all of our social media platforms as well as here, we do have slides that we present that are the actual articles that are written by the people that are published and produced by. So you can not only vet what we say, but you can research it yourself. And we encourage you to research it further and then share the information with us, because again, our goal is to present accurate, up-to-date information, inform the public, and let you make better choices for yourself. Later on in the show, I'll give you a list of top voices around the world in technology, in artificial intelligence, and in the internet, who have books out where you can reach them, what their contentions are, and we'll be able to briefly touch on that in today's show for about 12 to 15 minutes. So you will have some names before you leave the show today if you stick with me. All right. Along the same line, we have new books coming out by our own experts and authorities. They are doctors, they are Christians, and they are teachers, family men. They have their own, lives of preaching and teaching the gospel for only over 20 years apiece. And so they have begun to study this research and information when I brought it up to them. And they were very concerned because this is not a subject that they were focused on. Nobody thought there's anything to worry about with the internet in their circles. So it has become big information and news, and it's life-changing. And now we have even grown to have youth groups starting where the young people are interested, they're researching, they're asking questions, they're finding out things, and they're discussing it amongst their peers. So that is a very big welcomed addition to the global conversation. And that is the purpose of this program, is to let every person living know what are the dangers of the internet and how do they affect your life and what can you do about them. One of the issues with the internet is it tends to alienate people from talking to other people. And in some cases, people don't want to talk to the other people. They want to talk to the machines. They want to interact with the technology more than they want to interact with people. That is dangerous. If you spend more than 2 hours on the internet at a time, you could be heading toward a problem. Some people are addicted to the internet. They find it very difficult and challenging not to be on the internet. If you're a person who has to constantly have your phone with you, has to constantly check social media, your emails, and all kinds of other information, then you may have a tendency to become addicted. No, not right now. Thank you very much. You may have a tendency to become addicted, and it's very important, it's very significant for you to understand how the internet may or may not be affecting you and what you can do about it. Some children have become addicted, have to be cut off of the internet for months at a time. I think it's 3 to 6 months for some cases. Go to a psychiatrist or a therapist. Some of them have to receive medication. They're so outraged that they cannot get online, if you can imagine. And then they're only allowed like 10 minutes when they come back to having contact with the internet to try to, first of all, wean them away and then gradually graduate them back while they're learning about the internet dangers and technology. We all know about privacy issues to some extent and having your information taken from the internet and things like that. So that is an issue, and it's a very important issue, data breaching and so forth. But there are many other issues surrounding that or connected to it. You can become reliant on the internet. You can overuse the internet. They say also, if you use the internet more than 6 hours at a time, when you're not at work and it's not a work requirement, or you're not at school and it's not a school requirement, that you may very much be headed into, if you're not into now, a problem between you and the internet technology. I'm going to take a breath here and let you think about what I'm saying to you, that the internet has a very subtle way of allowing us to do things that we find pleasurable, get information, play games, answer questions, communicate. And so it's very, very important that you are monitoring, and you begin to monitor how much time are you spending on the internet. When you're on the internet, what's the purpose? All right, I'll let you in on a secret. When I was not well, something happened to me, and I started using ChatGPT. And I had a couple of experiences with ChatGPT that tweaked my interest. And I was like, wait a minute, I need to learn more about ChatGPT and what's going on. Okay, so on one occasion, I think I was into my 4th day of using ChatGPT in a row. And someone said to me, you got to get off the internet. You've been on the internet every day, like many, many hours. Why are you on the internet so much? And it didn't even hit me. I was researching, I was writing, I was really off into the internet without even noticing how it was affecting me. It didn't seem to be a concern. What's the big deal? I'm just using it to research. If I was in a library for 6 hours, what's the difference? I'll pull a book off the shelf. I find out, I pull 10 books, 20 books. I stay there all day, 8 hours, 16 hours. Who cares? But see, it's different with the internet. Okay, now we all know you can be a workaholic or alcoholic, but you can also be a technologyaholic. Okay, I'm just going to coin that phrase if it's not already in existence. So some of the other issues with the internet are how it is affecting education, not only healthcare and not only labor, and definitely communication. So we know from different sources that internet does not always give us, or technology does not always give us, accurate information. So we can receive fake news. We can be manipulated by what we receive or see or hear through the internet. We can also suffer or incur bias because of how the internet programming was created, the algorithms were created. So these are issues that have to be addressed with the internet. There are many. There are over 50 that I know of. Communication by 2025 is going to be dominated by technology. That's very serious. If you can't get through to a person, you can't reason with a person, they can't determine if you are or not in need urgently, if you are or not in trouble. That's very important. One day I left my ChatGPT on my phone open. I thought it was off. And I went someplace to pray. And I said to someone, come on, let's pray. And the ChatGPT answered and initiated a prayer that was biblically correct. And I was taken aghast. I was really taken back, and I thought, wow, wait a minute, is this good or it's not good? It struck me because mechanically, here's the words. It sounds like it's making biblical sense. It's logical, it's practical, but it's void of the glory of God. It's void of the Spirit. So anyway, I just want to share that with you because faith and worship are some of the issues that also are cited as a problem with the internet. Breaking of fellowship, where people are not coming together as much, which is instructed, and it's good for us to socialize. However, the internet tends to interfere with it. There's a tendency for the internet to interfere with it. And again, that's not my opinion. I have credibility from other sources to back up what I'm saying. I do believe that, but I'm just letting you know. We're going to go to a break in our conversation, but law enforcement, cloning, government, all these things are affected by the internet technology, and countries, nations could actually even use that to try to war with each other and manipulate each other out of land or out of control. And that's a very serious issue. So at this point, let's see if we can just be ready for the pause in our dialogue. And it's going to show you a little clip that I made that posts some of the authors of technological information. And when we come back from the clip, I'll actually read off some of the names and what they have to say in our second segment of today's broadcast. And thank you again for joining me. You're watching Global Symposium. I'm your host, Thiess Dumbuya, and we're very happy that you're here. This show's provided by honorgraceconsulting.com. If you go to the last page of the website of honorgrace.com, you can schedule your 30-minute free consultation, and we'd be happy to speak with you about business or technology or whatever we can help you with. We also have a humanitarian program that helps monetize people in other nations as well as America that are undereducated and in poverty. So let us know what we can do for you in those areas. We are very happy to serve, and we are super happy to have the broadcast and including you in it. This is your global conversation, so feel free to make comments and chat and impart into the conversation as you have need or desire. And if you hear of breaking news in technology, put a little notation in our social media platforms or contact us to let us know what's going on. We've found many different things concerning technology, and we found the father of technology warning all of us that we need to do something, and he's devoting his life to trying to correct the problem, which he said may take another 20 or 30 years before technology could have breaks, if you don't mind me paraphrasing it that way. You see, they've started something and it's unleashed, it's unlocked, it's now integrated into humanity for all mankind, but there's no brakes on it. It's not a movie, it's really happening. It's not a sci-fi film, it's really occurring. And there are levels of control that human beings should never give up. There are levels of control that people don't know they're giving up, but they already have because someone made that decision for us. And so we must get busy about learning and understanding technology and the consequences of technology that are snowballing our way. Okay, that being said, I am waiting for our Paul.
Global Symposium is brought to you by honorgraceconsulting.com. Give what you can that others may learn. Please stop the frames of this video and keep watching the names. What did they have to say? What are they trying to tell you, forewarn you about internet technology and AI? The dangers are there. The warnings are written. It's very clear. We have something to be concerned about. We must become unified in our attack against what is wrong with AI and protect ourselves, first by raising awareness and then by making decisions of what we individually and collectively will do about it as human beings all over the world. Give if you can that others may learn. Sign up for your free 30-minute consultation on the last page of honorgraceconsulting.com website.
Okay, that's my new promo for this week. And I hope you will snag it off the internet and play it in your neck of the woods online. Everybody needs to know about the dangers and warning signs, downside and dark side of technology, especially children and young people. We have videos coming out to actually warn children not to do anything on a computer that your parents don't tell you it's okay, because you don't know what you might be authorizing, and it's very dangerous. And, you know, you don't want to let other people have information or access to you and your family. You have to think about that when you go to click something that looks pretty or happy or fun that says, hey, little girl, or hey, little boy, I'd like to know you. Click this button for more fun, you know. Anyway, not to mention kidnappings and trafficking and all that. So let's jump right in on a list of prominent voices who have expressed concerns about the negative impact of AI and technologies on society. And I have included where I can their affiliations. Okay, Nick Bostrom You may know this name. I've mentioned it every broadcast. He's at the University of Oxford. He's the director of Future of Humanities Institute. And Bostrom warns about the existential risk posed by super intelligent AI, which could surpass human control. Okay, if you Google and ask online, can technology take over human beings? Can technology control human life? They'll tell you no, but that is not the truth. This is the man called the father of technology, and he's telling us not so. He's just recently had a very nice article in depth about how he's spending the rest of his life to try to correct the problem, fix the problem, do something about the problem. It's really tugging at his heart. It's very, very much a concern for him to devote his life to correcting the problem. And he said, I think he said it could take 20 or 30 years. So that's a big commitment. And that's a very validating effort with his life to say that he believes what he's telling us. Okay, so his book, he does have a book out. He may have many books out, but one of his books is called Superintelligence, colon, Paths, Dangers, and Strategies. Okay, and he's talking about the ethics and global risk. Very important. I may say this next name wrong, but Shoshana Zuboff. You've heard me mention Zuboff before, Harvard Business School, retired, but this is the contention of Zuboff. Zuboff criticizes surveillance capitalism, where data and human behavior are 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 modified by technology companies, leading to the loss of privacy and autonomy. His book is called, and I don't know if it's a man, but I think it is, The Age of Surveillance Capitalism. The Age of Surveillance Capitalism. And he's in the field of privacy and corporate control, or should I say his contention is, Zuboff's contention is in the area of privacy and corporate control. And if I don't get through the list today all at once, I promise you that I've already published the list, and I will publish it again on social media, because last two broadcasts, I promised you that I would post the list, that you would be able to look it up for yourself, and that I would bring the information about their contentions and their books. And I probably have another 15 or 20 names that are not on my list for today. This is a fresh list from today. All right. James Barrat, Barrat. He is a documentary filmmaker and author, and the contention is, Barrat argues that AI could be humanity's final invention if not carefully controlled, due to the risk of AI surpassing human intelligence. This is very significant that you grow in your awareness, understand what you can do. This is not just about locking down passwords. This is not just about changing your password every month or 2 months or 3 months and making sure that it's not the same, that you write it down someplace. By the way, people 60 and older are one of the top target groups, if not the top target group, for being hacked or being scammed. And they don't usually change their password as regularly. And I hope I'm not giving criminals that information, but I was researching it, and I just wanted to share that with you. So if you're older, please make sure you learn how to change your password, and that you change your password every month, and you write it down someplace, and you don't share it, and you don't get bullied into giving information on the internet that no one should have. All right, we're on to Gary Smith, professor of economics at Pomona College. Smith critiques the hype surrounding AI, emphasizing that current AI technologies are limited and could be dangerous if over-relied upon. Now, over-reliance is one of the things I named in the risk, if you were following me just moments ago. Over-reliance. We cannot rely on technology to always be accurate. to always be forthcoming or any of those things. It's very important that we vet information, that we realize we can get fake news, we realize we can get manipulated, and we are on our toes and staying alert and making sure that we cross-reference from very reliable sources the information we receive and we give out. Okay, so cross-check my information to make sure I'm reliable and credible. All right. The book by Gary Smith is entitled The AI Delusion. The AI Delusion. He is in the field of misinformation and AI hype. You know, everybody is gigged up on internet and AI and what can be done and all the things that you can do and all the, listen, it's like if you play with fire, it's wonderful. Yes, it cooks things, it heats things, it's got all these wonderful features to it. It feels good. But here's the point. You have to be careful about the other side. There's balance that has to be considered. There's a good and the bad. There has to be a consideration and a knowledge for good and for bad, right? Okay, we think we're smart, but we all weren't smart enough to avoid the dangers of the internet technology, because now it is integrated into our system. It's integrated into our life. It's integrated into education. It's integrated into healthcare, into government, into law enforcement. It's integrated into everything, childbirth. It's integrated into medications. It's integrated into education. What is it not in? It's not fully saturated in Africa. And that's why it's extremely important for you to give something, if you can, to help me get this information into the people in Africa before they get inundated and saturated and bombarded and blindsided with technology and technological use. Many people have never even seen a tablet, a cell phone, a computer, a laptop. Listen, they may have seen a cell phone and not a smartphone. Perhaps I should say smartphone. It's very important. It's a fundamental right, if you ask me, for people to be informed about something before it completely comes in and takes over their land, their privacy, their information, and interferes with their relationships, interferes with their way of life, their communication, their culture. Very important. It would be better, in my opinion, now this is opinion, this is not research, it would be better for the governments to stand up and say, you're not bringing it into Africa full force until you fix it. We're not going to allow the people to be totally changed and their way of life disrupted, and they don't even know what hit them, and they have no recourse. They have no recourse. If transportation and utilities are all plugged in to computer technology and you don't even know how to operate it, you don't even know the dangers, you don't even know how it's affecting you and your family and your life, how can you just let something in? There's nothing else in this world we would open up our lives, our heart, our family to, our workplaces, our governments, and just say, yeah, come in, do whatever you're going to do. It's great. It's fun. We like having you here, without realizing what's the backside, what's the catch. Okay, so we are not thinking. We were at lunch, we were at sleep when we let this happen this way. There should be breaks. There should be stops. There should be safeguards. There should be morality. There should be something built into the technology that I can control it where I'm concerned. And it doesn't apply on just the basis of if I gave something permission or not online, because the permissions don't have to be there now. AI technology can crawl wherever. Okay, everything is not stopped by your consent. I just want to say that up front. And again, vet what I say. Everything. Hold me accountable, because I'm not perfect and I can make a mistake, and I'll be over here too happy to admit it. But the point is, you've got to be protected. Who's going to tell you? Who gives a darn about anybody else knowing about it? I do. I do. I want people to know. I want people to think. I want people to understand, what are we up against? I want us to align in how we're thinking about it with the truth, and we can make individual and corporate decisions. I want to understand that if I let my employees be involved more with internet technology, what am I opening them up to? What role am I playing by causing them to stay on the internet so many hours every day? How is that affecting their health? How's that affecting their family? You know, a lot of people in families don't even sit down at a dinner table, and let alone with the cell phones now, people that were friends in crowds, they're talking on their phones. People tripping fall in the middle of the street, being on the phones, because the phones have now just impacted society so much, not only phones, but other things that are technological and systems that repeat. And it's very persistent. It's very subtle and it's very persistent. All right, let me go on. I may say this name wrong, but I'm going to give it a stab. Kai-Fu Lee. Synovation Ventures is the place of business, and former president of Google China is Kai-Fu Lee. Okay, Synovation Ventures, I believe that's where he is now, and I think that's his company. But in any event, whether I know that's his company or not, his contention is that Mr. Lee discusses the economic and societal disruption. Oh, that's what I was just talking about. The disruption caused by AI, especially the power shift towards China and the US. Mr. Lee used to be the president of Google in China. I guess he knows a thing or two about technology, huh? Okay, his book is called AI Superpowers. I don't know what's in this book. I haven't read it, but my job is to give you the information and allow you to make choices, and you to be raised up in your awareness about technology. And a lot of these books, if we could read them all, open them all, discuss them all, would be real good subjects for these broadcasts, because we want to know, what are the experts saying? So on some of the shows, we are going to be talking about books coming out and more information that are in these books and what we can do about it. What are our options? What are our options to technology use safely? What are our options to privacy, data breach, security, cloning, mitigation? What are our options to surveillance, safety options? What are our options to technology involved in our healthcare, technology involved in our education, technology involved in employment, technology involved in almost everything with our children? What are our options? We do not want overuse, and we do not want the effect of being disconnected as people, humans, one to another, because we're using technology. Listen, the dangle carrot is greater, better, faster, more resourceful. You're going to make more money. What is the cost to the human life and society for embracing that change wholeheartedly without even knowing the negativity of it, the dangers of it? What are the warning signs for when you have too much use or it's affecting your health? What are the warning signs? So I have prepared more information for you along this line. And AI Superpowers, the book, deals with the economy and global power shift. Now, this next book is by 3 different people, and they have the contention that explores AI's impact on human nature, ethics, and global government, warning of potential for AI fundamentally to alter society. And the first name you'll no doubt recognize, Henry Kissinger, and then Eric Schmidt and Daniel Huttenlocher. The contention I've given you for what they said, and let me tell you the name of their book. The name of their book is The Age of AI, and Our Human Future. They too deal with ethics and governance. Let me see if I have time for one more before our next 12 minutes. Margaret Bowden, Boden, University of Sussex. Bowden addresses the philosophical and ethical questions surrounding AI, particularly in impact of human understanding and morality. She deals with philosophy and ethics in her book, AI, Its Nature and Future. Yuval Noah Harari, Harari, Hebrew University of Jerusalem. The contention of Harari warns that AI could create unprecedented inequalities and lead to new forms of human oppression. One of the problems and contentions with the internet technology is bias. That bias is built into the algorithms, and that there's no way to overcome and escape it unless you're the person writing the algorithms and you're not writing bias in. But at the present time, bias is written in, and it's very serious. You think we're trying to deal with bias out here in the world, but what happens when the computers, who are not negotiable, who don't know they have a bias, are biased? And it's in the programming. They're not going to waive it. They're not going to change. There's going to be no consideration, and it's not stopped. That's the situation. That's why you need to know about technology and the dangers, the hidden dangers, the suppressed dangers. You need to know. All right. The book is called Homo Deus, Deus, 21 Lessons for the 21st Century. This book deals with society and the future studies about the future. That's very important. Jaron Lanier, Lanier. It could be Lanier. I'm not sure, but since I have a little bit of a French background, I said Lanier. Microsoft computer scientist and virtual reality pioneer. Now, here's a virtual reality pioneer, and this is his contention. Lanier argues that social media and AI are dehumanizing society, urging people to delete their social media accounts to regain autonomy. He feels that strongly, that he would encourage someone to just delete all of it. Just delete it. Don't participate. His book is called 10 Arguments for Deleting Your Social Media Accounts Right Now. That's what it's called. 10 arguments for it. I wonder what's in that book. He deals with social media platforms and human autonomy. Tristan Harris, Center for Humane Technology, former Google design ethicist. Now, this person deals with ethics for a living, and this is their contention. Harris critiques the manipulation of attention by tech platforms, calling for humane technology that prioritizes well-being over profit. I must tell you, I believe we must always value human life over money. That's my personal thoughts and feelings. Now, although there is no book, but this person was featured in the documentary entitled The Social Dilemma. The Social Dilemma. They deal with manipulation and mental health. Now, mental health is very important, and we need to understand how mental health is being affected by technology. Today's broadcast is very different in the sense that we are discussing the details of some of the other top voices around the world's opinions and contentions. And there are even shows we could do on research of not only these subjects, but other subjects. Nick Bostrom co-authored a book with Eliezer Yudkowsky, Yudkowsky, Machine Intelligence Research Institute is the affiliation that Yudkowsky has, where you can find them, reach them, ask them more questions if you needed to. Yudkowsky warns about AI's alignment issues, where an AI's goal may not be aligned with human values, potentially leading to catastrophic outcomes. Catastrophic outcomes. That's pretty serious. That's pretty huge. The name of the book is Superintelligence. And this is the book co-authored by Nick Bostrom, which was the first person we started out with. They were dealing with the AI safety issue and alignment. Frank Pasquale, Brooklyn Law School. His contention is Pasquale discusses the black box society where AI decision-making lacks transparency, leading to unfairness and biased outcomes. The unfair and biased outcomes are discussed in a book by the title, The Black Box Society, and that is by Frank Pasquale, Pasquale. His book deals with law, bias, and accountability. The reason this show exists is for there to be information given to you to learn more about technology, the problems, issues, concerns with it, damage from it, harm to it for human life, all human life, young, old, no matter what your location around the globe is. This is an unbiased show, as much as I can make it such, that provides you with accurate information so that you can look into the matter and raise your own awareness and then help spread the awareness around you to other people. These individuals offer perspectives on ethical, societal, and existential risk posed by AI and other technologies. And we haven't even touched the the technologies dealing with robotics. At this time, I'm looking for another promotion in the show that I can start to share with you about a book we have coming out that Apostle Dr. Roland Talbot and myself have authored together. We are co-authors in the new book, Understanding Technology. And as soon as we get a chance, I'll be looking for the little video that we created for you to have. There we go. We have a new book coming out. It's an ebook. You can get it on Matimba online store with this television broadcast station that we're on right now. And my co-author sometimes hosts the show with me. That would be Apostle Dr. Roland Talbot, Tebe Roland Talbot. He is a scholar and he is taken on researching how technology interacts with society. And he does note of some good things that he thinks about technology in our book that we've co-authored. But he also discusses what he thinks knows the harms to be, and he supports his contentions of why he feels these particular things are harmful. And I encourage you to get that book, because if you read it quickly, it's an ebook and it's not very expensive, right here on Matimba TV in the marketplace store. If you read that book quickly in the next coming weeks, the next 2 weeks, number one, we'll be going over our book, and number two, of course, it'll be included in this list of books. And then number two, Dr. Roland is speaking in Nigeria at a conference. And so you may also be able to attend the conference, or perhaps you'd like to schedule and create your own conference, and we could support it by providing information and host to you around the world. We can do virtual meetings, we can do Zoom, we can do LinkedIn, we can do any of the global social media sites, and we can do any of the private podcasts that you may want to incorporate us into for your own purposes in your shows and your media. We believe in education, and we're happy to teach. We're happy to share. We're happy to inform. And we're happy to help weigh decisions of how you allow technology to affect you or not. Listen, we've got about 2 or 3 minutes left before we come down to the last 12 minutes of the broadcast, which will be giving you other information. You can connect us with us on the social media platforms, which are basically above my head right here. So you can get to them yourself. If you take a picture or freeze the frame, you can actually see what they are and connect with us. Yeah, there we go. We have a number of platforms for your viewing, for your staying in touch, for your staying up to date. And I will discuss with you other issues I found and other outcomes I found, and the ones that come into the news, that are coming into the news on a daily basis. I'd like to thank those who have connected with me recently to put this information in their business, church, schools in Kenya, Uganda, Rwanda. Those are some of the nations that have connected with me in the last week. And I appreciate all of you who cared how I was doing when I wasn't on broadcast last week. I'm doing well enough to be here today, and I thank you for tuning in with us. I believe that there are some promotions and advertisement coming across. Look for our children's broadcast on Matimba and Yahweh TV. And we're going to have a lot of videos, social media videos, not social media videos, children's videos and teens videos, because the teenagers are interested. They're taking part. One of the breakthroughs we had in our show, Impacting People, is that there are now groups of young people starting, say maybe 11 years old to maybe 16, that are interested in more information and talking about these subjects. So we welcome them, and we're going to actually have youth programming now so that they can connect with their age group around the world and discuss the issues, come up with what they think is solutions, discuss the safeguards. What can they do to protect each other? What can they do to protect themselves? How can they share this with their friends? How can they share this with their family? How can they share this at their schools? And these are very big issues for taking this message to the whole world. Thank you for joining me. Again, my name is Thiess Dumbuya, and this is Global Symposium. It is provided for you by honorgraceconsulting.com. And if you go to honorgraceconsulting.com website, you will see on the very last page of the website that you're able to schedule a free 30-minute consultation for you, your company, your school, your business, your church, your mosque, and whatever else we can do for you to get this information into the hands of people and promote the proper social change that's needed and required. Thank you for joining me, and I hope to see you next Monday or on the replay on Saturdays at 9 a.m. Thank you very much.
Global Symposium is brought to you by honorgraceconsulting.com. Give what you can that others may learn. Please stop the frames of this video and keep watching the names. What did they have to say? What are they trying to tell you, forewarn you about internet technology and AI? The dangers are there. The warnings are written. It's very clear. We have something to be concerned about. We must become unified in our attack against what is wrong with AI and protect ourselves, first by raising awareness and then by making decisions of what we individually and collectively will do about it as human beings all over the world. Give if you can that others.
The following program is made possible by the partners of Honor Grace Consulting. Yahweh TV and Matumba Power Facebook profile accounts. Assume no responsibility or liability for opinions shared on this program. Thank you.
Shalom, I am Matumba Power. I have a special announcement for you. Yahweh TV is an online Christian platform with the mandate of enriching lives and glorifying Christ through different developing kingdom programs that seeks to inspire both your intimacy and depth with and in Christ Jesus, strategically aiming at empowering. Shalom, I am Matumba Power. I have a special announcement for you. Yahweh TV is an online Christian platform with the mandate of enriching lives and glorifying Christ through different developing kingdom programs that seeks to inspire both your intimacy and depth with and in Christ Jesus, strategically aiming at empowering you to dominate all spheres of influence for King Jesus. By the grace of God, we are daily streaming live on YouTube and on 6 different Facebook platforms simultaneously, currently reaching about 96 nations of the world in 5 continents of our globe. Did you know you can do your Facebook Live with Yahweh TV online studios from the comfort of your home, anywhere in the world, and receive live production support while changing lives in 96 nations so far? For our silver package, you get 16 appearances for 30 minutes. We do your logo design, your intro and outro video for your program, and give you a live production support during your live streaming. While for our gold package, you get 40 times appearances for 55 minutes. We still give you your free logo design, your intro and your outro videos, and also a live production support. Finally, remember that Yahweh TV is in partnership with Matimba Online Store, located on our website matimbapower.com, where as an author and also as a recording gospel artist, you can sell your music, ebooks, audiobooks, and sermons in that space. Matimba Online Store does also the production of ebooks and audiobooks at a reasonable fee. Act now and touch lives for Jesus. Shalom.